My internet is just randomly deciding to drop frames there. That good old boom. You know, I can't ever unhear that from Kirby in the Forgotten Land with the bombs.
Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Well then. Yeah, there's that there. I'll do that in a second. I know for sure that there's another route that we haven't taken yet.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered
I know that for certain.
on his left.
I'll do that real quick. Yeah, I don't know why the stream quality is all over the place.
Either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping him coming to a staircase. Stanley
so I know that there's another thing up this way that we haven't done yet. So we can do this real quick.
Here's the door, just go.
There it is. Alright, so then we go down this way, and it's the escape thingamabob. I think we've done most of the things for the right door. If not, like, all the main things. I'm fairly certain. I know that there's another thing that we haven't done here yet, so I think I'll do this, and then we'll have a look at the new content. Did I say it? Did I say it? I'll dab just in case I said it! Ah! I can't believe this. I can't believe you've done this.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall...
This stream has been going on for 17 hours, 48 minutes, and 35 seconds, according to OBS. Is a thing.
The door behind
but about 25 minutes was like me eating breakfast before starting things. It's currently 11:19 p.m. and I'm going until 6 a.m. my time, so
Stanley was
I still have about 7 hours to go.
Effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
So, still a decent bit to go to this stream, and I'm already pretty decently exhausted from it, but we'll make it to the end. We'll get there. This is the 6th time I've done a 24-hour charity stream, so I'm fully aware of what it entails by now. You know. I'm adept. Over in that time zone, at least. Your time there. A decent bit later.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise.
Stick around for as long as you have my tip. The time you finish up Stanley. Alrighty. Well, I do appreciate all my hanging out though. CJ.
He doesn't know the real story. Trapped forever in his narrow
vision
see. Of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
I don't think you can do anything here.
Well, Stanley.
Rank up? What do you mean rank up? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Sorry, what'd you say?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
This route is a really weird one that I'm not quite sure I understand.
Weird, dumbass.
As the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
These are boxes. My goodness. Like badges on the Strim?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Well, there's the subscription badges that are through Twitch subscriptions. There's a
death becomes meaningless.
bit thingamabobs. Guzma answered the question there. By gifting a sub. My oh my. Guzma, I appreciate the gifted sub there, you generous mad lad. Welcome into Team Enarmon and Christian Nasser. Hope you enjoy the emotes and the sub badge and whatnot. Yeah, so it's a... Oh, there's a super secret thing here. But yeah, subscriptions are like a monthly, well, subscription thingamabob that helps support various Twitch creators and whatnot. One of the things that they added the feature of a while back was the ability to gift subscribers. So, or gift subscriptions, so that's what Guzma just did. I'm gifting you a subscription there. Stanley's computer. Office layout. Let's see here. They've been added ultra throughout development. The core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in a good time.
You just said door. Knock knock.
Ah! My oh my. Well, I mean, what the badges represent is typically like support towards a creator and that kind of thing. So it's always like coming from somebody, essentially. But Guzma in this case decided that he was gonna be a generous mad lad and wind up doing that. 2 doors instead of 2.
You just said door. Knock knock.
Very first concrete piece of Stanley Parable's design once this room was created. The rest of the game was emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Can't even climb up here. The office. Button sounds. There's a mix of keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Because it's a banned word, people have this is a 24-hour charity stream to help fundraise for Larch, which is a not-for-profit that helps those with developmental disabilities. And people could donate to ban words, and if I say the word, I got a dab. It used to be that I had to eat a gross jelly bean, but I cannot go through any of those anymore, I don't think. Also, I'm gonna genuinely be sick. So now I'm dabbing instead. Here's credits and stuff. So, I can't say any of those words. Maintenance room. I think you prefer dabbing over the jelly beans, to be honest. It's more comedic and without the, suffering and pain that I go through. Essentially. The office. Just have to not say that D word. Fun. Oh, is that the bottom of the mind control facility? That was from one of the trailers, I think, the money pouring through. Ultra Deluxe announcements. December 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of the Stanley Parable at the Game Awards. These are screenshots of the videos we made for the announcement and the game's delay. Huh.
You just said hello.
I
idiot.
did not! I did not say it! I didn't say it. Only development would design an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. Realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which is not our intention. But that was like some of the map, I guess. Huh. Suffering and pain look like you're suffering with pain every dab you. Well, it's like just reveling in the fact that I accidentally said the thing still. You know. Narrator emails. The second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. We had initially planned for these further promotional materials. We never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. What? They put the... They directly put in the person's full contact information that they had in the email. My goodness. Even I, if I ever put in, like, into any of my video papers, we'll call them because of the banned word, like, any comments or anything like that, if it's anything kind of sketchy, I always, you know, censor it out. But in this here video game, they didn't even censor it out and just had the full contact information there. That's, my goodness. But yeah, yeah, I'm definitely a decent bit tired. Cerebral palsy? I believe that's how it's pronounced, if I recall there. I say I just split streams into 2 12-hour streams because of the jelly bean. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever doing these jelly beans again, honestly. Censor some parts when I do the vid? What do you mean, censor some parts when I do the vid? I don't know what you mean. The game featured capybaras. I sure hope so. I sure hope. What, a Stanley Parable? Stay in shape. That's a good question right there. That's a very good question, huh? These emails have put together a video with footage from them. I don't think I'd be using these emails. But, you know, it's something directly in the game itself at this point. Actually, the previous Stanley game as a work of art and a standalone title. I appreciate the credit given to art, which is why I'm eager to see a sequel, prequel, standalone companion game, because art needs good censoring. I'd like to, however, have some idea of how I will be censored. Oh, I guess not at all. Or pretty much not at all. It might not be real emails. Maybe. I don't know. The lounge. Early version of the lounge. The office. The apartment timer. Previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending. A timer will give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Cargo lift. Second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Oh. Huh. Cargo lift. Cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Let's see here. Meeting room. Maintenance layout. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right.
You just said door. Knock knock.
It's important to get right since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Interesting. What's this here? Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations as rumors is the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. The Zending? Did I get that one? Zending levers. These levers were original part of the Zending. Player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. Zending. The screenshots depict an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which is eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Oh. Interesting. Countdown desk. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Freedom ending. This is a freedom ending as it existed in beta. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Countdown room. An early version of the countdown room. I'll go down there in a bit here. Just keep on seeing things here. Game design mockup. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from the mockup is still in the game. Interesting. Are these behind glass? They are. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, the second in March 2012, and the third in February 2013. Huh. Well then. Is there anything that I missed? What other things I missed? Because it actually is kind of interesting having a room like this. The thing's over here, right? I haven't seen yet. Freedom ending. This is the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. Boss's office. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Office clock. Programming. Jesus! Sounds like a cool guy. Sounds like a neato-doodle there. The lounge. Underground. An early version of the underground portion of the game. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. There are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
Stanley stood on the roof.
Are we not getting any others? right now?
The big red button.
Big red button. I can see through it here.
Now then, this elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be in the story. Stanley pushed the number 6. Then he pushed the number 8. Stanley pushed the big red button. Stanley.
Well, I think we've properly seen the museum now. I believe. So, I guess now we'll go see this.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another.
I'm dropping
How
frames
they
again,
wish
I'm
to
so sorry.
control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Guess I gotta do this.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your Nintendo Switch. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
It's a very, very strange game. Quite frankly. Very strange. Okay, so I think we've gotten most of the base game endings. Definitely not all of them, because there's like some, you know, specific niche ones around, but I think we've gotten most of them. Yeah, for sure. Definitely does help it stand out. That is for certain there. I don't know how you do the window thing. Like, I've heard that you get up on like some desk and jump out the window, but I don't know how you do it.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I don't even know how you do it, or where you go for it. I'm not quite certain, quite frankly, where you go for that. I think I might just start doing new content now. Back. Where can I do the window thing? I don't know. I don't know where you do it. Can you climb up one of these? Doesn't seem like. I don't think I can climb. Whoa. Whoa. This? Wait. Oh.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Then
in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option.
That's a bot to ban.
Now to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
So I gotta restart now? Get the game again. Well, now I gotta get the answer, I guess. Also, I'm continuing to drop frames. I don't know why this is happening.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his... At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map.
I don't know why I'm
heard
dropping
this
frames.
narration And realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Yeah, I already did that one, Guzma. What a game, huh? What a game. It's lovely indeed, huh? It's just like a loop now? As far as I can go here. Does it just like loop forever now? Also, I'm continuing to drop frames forever. I'm gonna try tinkering with the bitrate. I'm gonna try and do. See if this helps it out any. We shall see. It might not. But here's hoping. I think it just loops forever now. I'm also going to continue dropping frames. I don't want to do the new content while I'm dropping frames and the video quality is awful, you know? But I don't want to go restart the stream because then it won't be the 24-hour stream anymore. At least in one full loop. How's it going? I think the situation speaks for itself. Also, I'm dropping frames. I want to go do the new content right after this, but again, I don't want to do it while I'm dropping frames because the video quality is going to be garbage. So, you know. It is a nice chill tune. Try lowering the bitrate even more. Oh. Is it over? I'm still not stopping dropping frames. I don't know why. I don't know why my internet or my computer or my something or other is being so weird.
You just said weird, dumbass.
Well, it's like coming in and out of dropping frames and not dropping frames. Can't seem to make up its mind. Is the thing. But now it's not dropping frames? Maybe it's all A-okay? Can I turn up the bitrate again? Actually, it's looking pretty fine right now, right? I think. Alright. I'm sore the next morning with all the dabs. I think my legs are going to be a lot more sore from all the squats I did during Ring Fit. Honestly. So, what'll happen?